What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex here watching the DC edition of the Ragin Nation show. This is just the web series where we're talking about all things that matter to me in the world of the DC cinematic universe. That's right, I said it right here. This is the very first episode of the DC edition of the Ragin Nation show, just because there has been a lot of developments happening with the world of Justice League. Recently, there was a leak at Warner Brothers where a tentative release schedule was leaked, which showed off the release dates, or rather tentative release dates, for future DC films, which included a Wonder Woman film, a Man of Steel sequel, and also a Green Lantern and Flash team-up film. And that is all very exciting. It's all tentative and unconfirmed, but for the most part, that is what Warner Brothers has planned. And because of that, I decided that, you know what? It's time for a DC edition of the Ragin Nation show, simply because, you know, with the Marvel edition, you know, me covering all that's going on with all the things that's going on with the Avengers and all the other solo character films, DC deserves that much attention as well, because they're going to have a lot of films coming out in 2016 and 2017. Right now it's 2014, which means that 2 years, or rather a 2-year span, or 2-year time spent in production is just enough time to have a film produced. Alright, so right now obviously they're working on Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, which I think is a ridiculous title, but then with other films coming up in 2016, or at least that's what they have planned, there's going to be other films. Alright, now if you don't already know, Zack Snyder is intending to film Dawn of Justice and Justice League back to back. Alright, that's why Justice League is coming out in 2017. Alright, so he's got a really busy production slate ahead of him, but there have been some new developments with regards to the production of Justice League. They have added a new roster to their cast. And, well, so far, of course, they have Batman vs. Superman, Batman and Superman, which is the, you know, the title characters. So I'm assuming they're going to have an equal amount of screen time. Then they got Wonder Woman. They also got Cyborg, and then the villain is, of course, Lex Luthor, who is going to have hair. Okay, can you believe that? They're going to have a Lex Luthor with hair. Jesse Eisenberg is going to have hair. How do you guys feel about that? But anyways, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the new addition of a cast member, which is going to play a DC superhero, and that is Aquaman. Aquaman will be played by Jason Momoa. That is officially confirmed. There were rumors that were saying that he was going to be cast, but now it's officially been confirmed that he's going to be playing Aquaman. How do you guys feel about that? Now, one thing that I got to say about casting actors for superhero roles is that fans have expectations. We've already seen what happened when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman. Well, I'm really curious to know what people think of Jason Momoa being Aquaman. So far, there's not a whole lot of negative reaction. In fact, there's not a whole lot of positive reaction either. It's kind of mixed. I feel that he's not right for the part. He doesn't look the part. I think it's very important for an actor to look the part. Of course, there's hair and makeup, but I last saw him in Bullet to the Head, and all he was just a thuggish brute. He was just really just a big guy who is a villain. And that's what he looks like. Even right now, when I look at him, he just looks like a villain. He looks like he plays a villain part all the time. And, well, he is supposed to play a superhero. So, you know, keyword being hero. So I don't think he looks the part. I don't think he is a bad actor. I just don't think he looks the part. I mean, you don't need to be a great actor to play a superhero. I know the fans will appreciate that, but the fact is that the feeling is actually quite neutral. I mean, he's on Game of Thrones, he's on Stargate Atlantis, most importantly he's on Game of Thrones, and he actually does a good job in Game of Thrones, but I feel that he doesn't really look the part. You know, he's going to be wearing a costume and all that, and they're most likely going to dye his hair blonde and all that, but Aquaman has a certain look to him, and I just don't think that Jason Momoa is the right actor to play Aquaman. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but one thing that I gotta say is that Jason Momoa has a number of credits, okay? When they cast Henry Cavill to play Man of Steel, nobody really said anything, okay? Sure, he was okay in The Immortals, but for the most part, I haven't seen him in anything else. And that's why the fan reaction about Henry Cavill being Superman was actually quite neutral. Nobody was excited about Henry Cavill playing Superman, but nobody felt negative or was complaining about Henry Cavill playing Superman. Alright? But for the most part, he looked the part. Jason Momoa does not look the part. Okay? So I just want to ask you guys how you guys feel about Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. And Aquaman will have a small supporting role in Dawn of Justice. After all, it is a prequel to Justice League. He will have a bigger part in Justice League, of course, because they will have established the team. So basically what Dawn of Justice is kind of like what Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and Incredible Hulk is combined as a film. It's a prequel to the big film, which is Justice League, alright? Which is obviously Warner Brothers' equivalent to Marvel's The Avengers. Anyways, the other piece of news that I have for you guys is that there is a rumor that there's going to be a standalone Batman film, okay? A standalone Batman film, which means that Ben Affleck will be playing Batman without any supporting characters in his movie. He will be doing it solo, and you will be watching a Ben Affleck Batman film. Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. Now, this is just a rumor, and it's possible that if this is happening, it will happen in as late, or rather as early as 2019. That's the earliest they can make a standalone Batman film. Alright? And it's tentatively titled The Batman. Okay? What do you think of the title? And what do you think of the fact that Ben Affleck is going to have his own standalone Batman film? I don't know what to think of that. I think that it's cool that, I mean, it's alright that he's in the Justice League film and Dawn of Justice. But having Ben Affleck carry his own in a standalone Batman film, which is obviously connected to Dawn of Justice and Justice League. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, do you think it's going to be even better than the Christopher Nolan version? I don't think so. I just don't think so. What's the guy's name? Christian Bale. You know, we've seen him in 3 films, and you know what? For the most part, he nailed it. You know what? He might not be the best Batman. I mean, people still think that Michael Keaton is the best Batman. But you know what? I still think he did a good job. Ben Affleck has a lot to live up to, alright? There's a lot of fan expectations. Already, he's right now at the bottom. I am neutral about it. I don't really care. I think Ben Affleck is a decent actor. I also think he's a even better director, alright? So, and he also knows that there's a lot of fan expectations from him. So, he's going to do his best to do a good job and bring justice to the character. But Ben Affleck is going to be having a standalone Batman film for possibly 2019, and it's going to be titled The Batman. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. And anyways, this marks the very first episode of the DC edition of the Ragin Nation show. I'm going to have more updates as there are more progress with the filming and other productions. And there you have it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, @RaginNation. My name is Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. What is actually rumored is that Darren Cross is going to be the villain for Ant-Man, who is going to be played by Corey